we're starting a new turn here. Yes, I'm adding a co-host.
Hi.
Should we be scared? So excited because, as I talked about on a live stream a little bit ago, with some changes coming up and just the evolution of the channel, we thought, it might be nice to make a couple little changes to how we're doing things. And one of those was to add in a co-host, take on a little bit more of a podcast style format, and give us some opportunity to talk about some things I wouldn't talk about otherwise, add a little bit of youth and energy. Okay, yes, she's better looking too, but we realized that even though Meagan's been in a number of the videos, we have not ever really introduced her outside of the first time you were here.
Nope. It's already been over 3.5 years ago. We were just talking about that, so yeah. It's already been a minute. So
I thought I would reintroduce her and give a little bit more detail than she did in the original. If you are wondering when she first popped up, it was 3.5 years ago, March of 21. We did a video with her and my son talking about working foods at the parks. But she'd actually contacted us before that because you started off as a patron.
Yep. Yeah, I think I had joined Patreon in September 2020, and then I finally got to hop on a Zoom call, and then I realized that your address at the time was super local to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, a local YouTuber. Yeah. That was crazy to me at the time.
It was fun. We set up the date to come over because she had worked foods at Six Flags. Mm-hmm. So I'll come back to that. And, hey, that'd be cool. Let's get a different perspective. My son's worked foods. So come on over. We'll shoot this video together. And at the time, I was still shooting the videos in my church office, which was cramped. Mm-hmm. But I still remember you walked in the door.
I know what you're going to say.
My son and I tried really hard not to giggle. Because you could just see, it, as you said, first experience, YouTuber, local.
Yeah.
Just a little starstruck.
Literally. I had a moment. I had walked in and all of a sudden I was standing in the space of where I had seen so many videos from the months before, and it just caught me by surprise.
Yeah. And I don't think we took that long to get you over that.
No, it was a good vibe. It still is a good vibe.
But had a lot of fun shooting that because I'm cheap and I don't make that much money. It was like, okay, I gotta at least make it worth her while coming. I can't pay her to be a guest star. So, hey, we'll take you out to dinner afterwards at the local eatery.
That was a good restaurant.
So, I wish it was still there. But
it's not there?
No, the couple that owned it decided that they wanted to move on to other stuff. So, told, my wife was going to come over, so that way she wasn't stuck eating dinner with just the two guys. And told Amber, okay, you're going to have to come eat dinner with us. And
darn.
Let's be honest, some of my viewers are a little socially awkward, like this one. Yes, who doesn't know appropriate timing. Hello, Moody.
Hello.
So Amber was really hesitant to join us. Would that be a good way to put it, Amber?
Is this where you want me to come over there?
Yeah.
Come here.
Step in.
Hi.
She bumps the camera.
Mm-hmm. So we'll bump the camera.
That's my buddy.
So Amber is like, do I have to go to dinner?
That's my buddy.
Hi.
And she really did not want to join us at first.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, so she was like, I don't want to go. Tough luck, too bad, you're going.
Thanks.
And it took you guys how long?
I think once I realized that she was just a nerd and not one of your Stepford smilers.
Yeah.
Probably 8 seconds.
Yeah, I knew by the end of the dinner they had exchanged phone numbers, had Facebook friended each other, had set up a date to go shopping.
Yeah.
And I've been kind of stuck with Meagan ever since.
Unfortunately.
She's like my sister that I never had.
Oh, same. The only child in me is speaking.
Yeah.
I gained a whole family that day.
It's really been neat because my wife, when we travel, is usually kind of like, okay, it's just us. Mm-hmm. And I knew you had won your way into the family when we started planning this big Disney trip with Brendan and Meagan. Meagan come down later, and my wife was the one who said, well, we'll have room in the room. She could stay on the other side. And I was like,
I don't think
wait.
I knew it was her idea.
Yeah,
That's so nice.
it wasn't mine. And I was kind of like, whoa, you're actually offering room in our room to Meagan. Okay, she's definitely won you over.
Mom was also constantly inviting Meagan to spend time with her when me and you were out doing something.
Yeah. There were times they came over to the house and it was just Margaret and we would watch like Charlie Brown or whatever else. So, yeah. Thanks, Margaret.
So, yeah, she kind of very quickly wormed her way into the family. And, yeah, you're over a bunch.
Here we are.
So,
yeah.
So that's why it was kind of natural that way. She's been to the parks with us. She's been in with the family stuff. And so when I talk to my wife, and my wife tends to be very protective. She grew up in a minister's home. And one of the things in the minister's home is very much don't give it any impression outside of anything that might be inappropriate. And so for my wife to start saying, oh, Meagan, yeah, good. Yeah. I told her about this, and she was just, like, super excited.
Yay! I'm excited. We're all excited.
Yeah. So.
Great.
Okay. Anything you wanted to say about that, too?
I like ponies.
Me too.
Yeah.
And cats.
Little ponies?
Yes, but not the latest seasons.
That's
and
true.
the new show sucks.
I actually haven't seen it.
They got rid of all of the magic from the old show and all the lore.
Not the lore.
It ruined everything.
I haven't seen it yet. The last interaction I had with my little pony was probably in children's body wash. Mm-hmm. It's been a minute.
But here's where Amber was coming from, because I love telling the story. We share the story off camera, but my very first time back to Disney World with Amber, we had gone down and I was doing a meet and greet at Disney Springs. And probably had like 20 people, I think. And we had a couple of our old friends, kids who've been in my youth group, actually in Florida, come over, meet up with Amber, and they'd gone shopping around Disney Springs. Mm-hmm. And as they come back from shopping, I noticed them, and I got everybody around me and went, oh, look, here comes my daughter. And somebody very well-meaning, very nice, not having any idea how it sounded, went, oh, cool! You don't know us, but we all know you!
And they all slowly turned and smiled at me.
That's how a horror movie starts.
That's why I called them Stepford Smilers.
So, that was what was on Amber's mind when she's like, I've got to go out with one of your... Oh,
for sure. That would something like that would definitely just stick with me for the longest time. And not everyone is like that.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I think it worked out.
Yeah, she ended up fitting right in with the nerds.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how Meagan came around and kind of joined us. And then, so we had the one trip down to Disney where you and Brendan joined us, that Craig sponsored. Mm-hmm. And I think at that point, Craig went, hey, I kind of like this Meagan kid.
Yeah. Feelings mutual, thank goodness.
Yep.
That was such a fun trip. I still think back on it so often. Those memories were just bar none.
Yeah. So you've been on another Disney World trip with us. Then a year and a half ago, you went out to New York and joined us there.
Yes.
For a little bit.
It was like I would explain when I was gone out with my family and everything. They were like, so what did you do this summer? And I said, I went to a non-Disney place with my Disney friends. And I told them all about it. And then, of course, the February Disney trip was also one for the books. That was so fun.
Yeah. So, it's been really kind of fun and neat that way. Mm-hmm. All right, so that kind of lets you know how she kind of came in.
I came to be
now, you worked at Six Flags.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you work there?
I worked there in the summer and the winter of 2016. I was fresh out of high school in my first year of college, and I did work like food and beverage. And I was like a team member at first, and then they wanted to make me a lead. So like not quite supervisor, not quite team member. And I had an area, it was divided up into 4 areas at Six Flags St. Louis, one being Hurricane Harbor. That was separate. I was not in that area. I was in Area 3. And the summer flew by real quick. It was some of the best people I've ever worked with, but the job was gnarly. It killed so much time. But it was also the first year that Six Flags St. Louis did Holiday in the Park.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool to be part of that. Like, first crew, too. It was really cold.
And now they're not doing it.
No. I haven't even heard if they're going to do that, like, third-party parking lot setup that they did last year.
Yeah, I don't know.
There were opinions
All
about
sorts
that.
of changes going on there.
Ooh,
So.
so much.
So you got the background working in the park.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here will be the nerd part coming out. You do. I know you love roller coasters because you and I were teaming up. On Coney Island.
Cyclone.
We did Cyclone.
2 rides.
That was awesome. That poor lady in front of us hated it, but
she was having a moment.
So we're on the Cyclone, and you get 1 ride per ticket, and we overshot the brakes. They didn't get us stopped in time, and they just looked at us and went, "Oh well,
Bye."
See it. There you go."
That was the first time I had been on a roller coaster with those type of brakes. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
We're going again. Okay.
And the poor lady in front of us, she didn't like it, and she starts freaking out as we left again.
Which was so funny within itself.
Yeah.
I mean, not for her, but
That was
for
a great
us.
ride, though.
Yeah.
But do you have any idea how many roller coasters you've been on?
No, as soon as you said that you have like a system to track that, I really wish that I could do one too, but I haven't. I could probably go through mentally and try to think of it, because I've been to parks, but I haven't been to like a huge variety, so I'm sure I could probably figure it out if I sat down and did it.
We'll be introducing her to Coaster Counter later.
Yay!
So there's actually a website. It's called coastercounter.com.
Okay.
And you can actually, it has a list of all the coasters, and you can check them off that way.
Whether they're still open or not, too.
Yep. Even if they're closed, they're on there.
I might have to report back on that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll show you how to do it.
Okay.
So, because I've got a count on there, and then there are some coasters I've been on that aren't on there because they were a long time ago, and they're like, "Are you sure?" Yes, I'm sure. I was on it, but
well, whatever parks I've been to, there've been roller coasters at them, and I've been to Six Flags St. Louis, Silver Dollar City, Walt Disney World, all 4 parks, and Dorney, Coney Island, Playland. I think those are it. I don't have the biggest variety, but I've been to the ones I've been to.
we're getting her started.
Yeah.
So once things change a little bit here, there will be a point where we will be going out of country for a couple years. So while we're out of country, it's going to be a little harder for us to keep track of Disney news and updates and go to Silver Dollar City because it's kind of a long trip.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. So while we're there, my boots on the ground kind of, who will be doing the vlogs. So yeah, we get to train you on that.
Yay!
And
I'm very familiar already.
And some of the media events and stuff like that. I'm gonna be going, "Hey, can you get the day off of work?"
I'm gonna have a heyday. That's just I'm so excited. I know I've said that a million times, but I'm so excited.
Yeah. So you will be seeing her do that. We haven't sat down and planned everything out yet, but we'll be doing the podcast style deal, and then there will be times, I'm hoping eventually, that we will have Meagan comfortable enough to do stuff on her own. So whether I do the editing or you do it, but you'll have Meagan stay out there. So
I could probably I can definitely learn. I have a very, very small video production background. Like I took a couple classes in high school, a couple classes in college. It's always something that's interested me, so I can definitely learn. It's just been a minute.
Yeah, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. People are going to ask too. So my nickname's SirWillow. Do you have any nicknames you want to admit to? Or do we have to have people get creative?
I don't know. I feel if people want to get creative, that would be fine. I think. So, we'll see. We'll see how far that gets me. But mostly, my family sometimes just says Meagano.
Meagano?
Now I'm putting that out.
That sounds like oregano.
Yes, sometimes it's also Meagano oregano for real.
Okay.
It's been Meagano oregano before. So Megatron has been a thing before.
Oh.
So Transformers.
Ooh, that could be some fun. But then the question becomes, so we've kind of been joking about, do we need to adjust the name of the channel a little bit, or just what we do? Craig, I think Craig's suggestion was hilarious.
I know.
The expanded Willowverse.
Yeah, that's what I've been unofficially going by in my head. That's probably been my favorite one so far.
But we love to have suggestions on adjustments to that, if we should or not, or how we want to do it. Because I don't want to be solo billing when she's doing half the stuff. But
Whichever.
So let's see. So what other interests do you got?
Outside of the parks, I really just am interested in like travel in general. And let's see, I love the lake. I love going out on the lake. Where we live in the Branson area, I'm close to Table Rock Lake, and that's one of my favorite pastimes in the summer. I love me some kayaking, some lake time, some pool time, some tubing. I love the lake so much. Anything to do with the lake. I even work near the lake.
I think half the conversations we hear in summer is, do you want to go to the lake?
Yeah, probably. Lake, Disney. I love trains a great deal. So that works out for us. Okay. I don't know like any big time professional facts about trains, but
we'll turn her into a rail fan.
Yeah. Big fan of Branson in general. Mm-hmm. I'm still learning a lot about Branson too.
There's so much of Branson.
Yeah. I've come to appreciate it a lot.
Okay. So you're not from Branson originally?
No, I am originally from the St. Louis area, like a little bit outside St. Louis. And then my family and we grew up coming on vacation down here to Table Rock. And then a few years ago, my parents started making more like permanent changes to be in this area, and I needed a job. So it worked out that I could get a job in this area. And then I've been here full time for the past 4 years, which is crazy to say out loud already.
So yeah, native Missourian.
Yeah.
Missourian. Okay. Missouri. Yeah.
No.
You know what's
no,
funny?
Please.
People don't really... I think I can count on one hand the number of times I've heard people say Missouri.
I've had one person, my 5th grade teacher, say Missouri, seriously.
Yeah.
I can't handle that. I can't do it.
Missouri.
But yeah,
so, I don't hear people do it.
I was just gonna add on. Sorry.
No.
My original home park, as people say, was Six Flags St. Louis, and then that's obviously where I ended up working, because I didn't live far from it. But I don't know. Outside of that, like, I just really like to be outside.
Yep.
Theme parks are outside, so that works out for me too.
So, okay, there was something else I was going to ask.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I just went blank on what it is. So this would be time for that musical montage that Craig was asking us to do. Right, Craig?
I'm not going to do it.
Hey, you can get away with it. He'll yell at me.
Not on the first episode. We'll work our way up to that.
She does sing. Yeah, so you caught her singing around the house occasionally, like.
I do love music. I love going to concerts so much. I love going to like live performances. I'm going to see Peter Pan in St. Louis this weekend.
Okay.
I'm so excited. I've been really getting back into going there a lot lately. Like there's the Fox Theater in St. Louis. It's super historical.
Beautiful theater.
So beautiful.
I've
I'm going to see Peter Pan. I've seen Mamma Mia. I've seen Frozen. Loved Frozen. And then I've also seen some other concerts there in the past. Like Selena Gomez was there a long time ago. She was awesome. And Hunter Hayes, back when I listened to more country. That was awesome.
Concerts, yeah.
Love concerts.
Especially one certain one she's been to twice.
Well, there's that one, but I would say that my concert brag would be for the Jonas Brothers.
Oh, there's that too.
I'll put that on the resume.
So
to every single tour. It's fine.
Jonas
fine.
Brothers, Taylor Swift. She's a Swiftie.
Yep. Since 06, baby.
Okay. So
It's still blank.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Actually, this is weird because usually it's just.
Well, we're still getting the hang of things. There's still a lot to plan out.
Okay. So let me throw one Disney thing. Or a couple Disney things.
Okay.
Favorite attractions at Disney?
Okay. I've only been to Disney World so far, but I do have this list semi-prepared. number 1 is going to be the Carousel of Progress. I love that so much. My family and I had stumbled into it almost by accident, and we're just like, well, this is nice indoor, out of the AC attraction, and then now we see it every time we're together, or if I'm there, it's actually a non-negotiable that I have to do. And my other non-negotiable is the People Mover.
Okay.
It's so chill. I love all the thrilling rides too, but I like to balance them out with some chill rides and attractions.
This is why we get along.
Yeah, yes. So it's all about balance. And then I would also say, if I'm going for like a top 3, I would probably say, I was getting ready to say it, but now it's probably a toss-up between Small World and Living with the Land.
Okay.
Or, oh my gosh, or also Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror. Oh my gosh. But I feel like if I can just keep expanding on it, but I think my favorite attractions are in Magic Kingdom, but I almost think my favorite park is Epcot. Even though my favorite attractions are in Magic Kingdom. It changes by the hour.
So my favorite attractions were at Studios. It's changed and evolved a bit now. For a long time, I would say Magic Kingdom was my favorite park, but Epcot's really kind of it changes. So
That it does.
and of course, with everything coming up too, we know it's going to be a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Oh.
Shining at the light of
Not safe for Craig.
least favorite attraction.
I don't think I've given any thought to this one.
I could probably guess.
What's your guess?
It would be the one that we introduced you to.
Which one? I'm blanking.
Country Bear Jamboree.
Oh, no.
Front row.
No.
She got stuck between me and Craig singing the whole thing.
The old version. I haven't
Yes,
given
the
the
old
new
version.
one a chance yet. I am going to give it a chance for the group chat in January. But I'm going to give it a chance, and I'm. It's not that I'm not looking forward to it. I'm just hesitant, but I'm willing to give it a shot. That's my least favorite attraction.
I'd say I told you I could guess
That's
it.
my least favorite attraction.
Because she comes in and she sits down. She's kind of like, "Well, this will be neat," and then it starts off, and you could just see her going.
the animatronics were also struggling at that point. Like there was one of them. I don't want to like do the actual action. It was practically convulsing right in front of my face.
Actually, I think
exactly
it was the
like
hands.
it was like that, and then its neck was shaking because its hands were shaking so violently, and everyone was singing around me, and it was a lot going on.
It was funny because she looked at me, and it was this look of horror, but at the same time it was like, oh, it's just George singing.
Sure.
And then
Terrifying.
she turns and realizes Craig is singing along too,
Every word.
and you could just see this. Oh, and we're right on the front row.
Brendan was singing most of it. He was definitely singing Blood on the Saddle.
Yes.
Which was probably the most terrifying
Oh,
one.
that was the best song.
Which is how our group chat landed its name.
Yeah.
I'll take that. But I will not. I'll leave the attraction far in the past.
Yeah, and so our Facebook group chat is actually dubbed Blood on the Saddle. But yes, that was great. So she went from that, and then was it the next day we took you to the Frozen sing-along? 2 days later, I think.
No. So we did Magic Kingdom the first day, Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios.
Okay, so it was 3 days later.
Yeah. Yep.
So before that, so we introduced her to Country Bear Jamboree, gave her nightmares. And then we took her to Frozen sing-along, and she had not seen Frozen before that.
No. Everything at the time, all the promo left and right. I was kind of sick of it when it originally came out, so I just kind of avoided it. And then we were in line for PhilharMagic at Magic Kingdom. I remember this very specifically. It had come up that I had never seen Frozen, and Craig put me in Frozen jail. I don't know if he remembers that. There's a picture, or it's in the video. It was captured in the video that the one swirling.
Yeah, there's a swirling handrail in the lobby of PhilharMagic.
I was put in Frozen jail. And then I became a Frozen believer a few days later.
Yeah. So.
Better late than never. All is right with the world.
But yeah, so it was funny though because you went from this musical show that was just horrific for you, which I loved. I miss it. And then we get her hooked on Frozen.
It all balanced out.
Yeah, worked out good.
And then we had a Frozen double feature after the trip.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
So, anything else that you'd like to share just to kind of let people get to know who you are?
Ooh, on the spot when people are like, tell me about yourself. I swear I've never met myself in my life. I can't think of anything right now. I'm sure as soon as we stop, I'll think of like a million things.
Yeah.
But
So you'll have to watch other episodes. So,
in the comments.
yeah.
Questions in the comments.
What do you want to know? What do you want to see? So like I said, we're going to be kind of feeling things out for a little bit. So you'll see her as often as we can until we leave. We'll try and do them together in person.
Yeah.
But we will have some just because of work schedules and stuff that will end up probably on Zoom together that way. And allows us to bring in guests and other stuff too.
Maybe like once a week at this point, unofficially.
Yep, unofficially that's the goal. And so look for it. Thursdays will be the published date still. Who knows when we'll record. But we'll be looking forward to the future.
Yes.
So
a new chapter.
Hope you were excited to have her. I know I am.
Me too. Yay.
So, thank you so much. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to know more too, background notes, behind the scenes, we'll have Zoom calls where, you get to kind of start heading up to patron Zoom calls too.
I didn't even think about that.
Because you'll be part of the team.
Zoom calls are like my single favorite part of being on Patreon at all.
Yeah,
that's how I met.
Yeah,
like,
really, our
other friends of the channel.
Our Zoom group has really become a lot of close friends. So we talk about the channel, but all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So check out Patreon.
Yeah.
You'll get more access that way, and we made some great friends.
There's been multiple times that we'll be done with the official Zoom call, and then some of us will keep talking afterwards, and we just yap and yap and yap and yap. I know.
Yeah, they're supposed to be an hour long, and I know a couple of them have gone like 2.5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, check out Patreon. Thank you to our supporters. We really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts, your comments, your suggestions, your ideas. Be sure to share them in the comments below, or you can contact me. There's information in the description that has my email address, fan pages, information about merchandise, and so much more. So be sure to check that out. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and if you haven't already, hit the button right up there to subscribe. And in fact, if you did enjoy this, I've even got another video for you right here. And also about these wonderful people here, those are my YouTube members and my patrons, the ones whose financial support makes this possible. I couldn't do it without them. If you want to know more about that and the perks that come with it, well, be sure to check the description. There's a link right down there. Thank you so incredibly much. God bless.